Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the original Star Trek series, and today we're going to be looking at the Season 2, I believe it is, episode Wink of an Eye. I enjoyed this one. Been a long time since I've watched it, but I like this one. It's a fun little premise of the team getting a distress signal when they get there, not seeing anyone there, seeing one of the red shirts disappear, thinking something bad happened to him, marking, of course, the first time in Star Trek anything ever happened to a red shirt. Beaming back up, and then noticing oddities going on with the ship. Which is interesting how this episode works, which is basically that the antagonist of the story, if you want to call them that, move at a much faster speed than we do, because of an event that happened on their planet in the past. And so they move so fast, we look like we're standing still by comparison. So they're moving in the wink of an eye, hence the name of the episode. William Shatner's putting in a good performance. He has a lot he has to do here as he's trying to maintain control of the situation, figure out how to outsmart his enemies, and of course keep everyone protected and safe, saving his crew. That's his main concern, is of course his crew. So he has a lot he does here performance-wise. I really like, of course, Spock and McCoy, Leonard and DeForest get plenty to do here and their chances to shine, because, both of those characters are also very intelligent. Captain Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and all 7 of the main cast are intelligent characters, but they are in different ways. Whereas Spock has the more scientific intelligence and McCoy is more emotional but has his own form of intelligence. And Kirk, of course, not to forget, is also very smart, and how he listens to the advice of others, of the other two. And the antagonists, of course, are these 5 aliens, although really only 2 of them are important. The other 3 are just kind of background characters, and they're only there for part of the story before they're beamed back down to the planet. It's really these main 2, a female, which of course has the hots for Kirk, because that's like a third of the original series episodes, let's be honest. And then, of course, a male who, of course, has the hots for her, because the triangle thing is also crops up a lot in the original series. And, of course, the female antagonist is wearing an outfit, another one of those 60s outfits that's as revealing as possible, not the most practical. And if an outfit like that came out on New Star Trek, people would have a heart attack. It's very much those outfits where, let's see how skimpy we can make this, where it's just cut right up the side. It's kind of funny. I've watched 2 original series episodes lately, and both of them have the women dressed up in very revealing outfits. I'm not saying I think that's a bad thing. It's just, I find it amusing looking back on it. And of course, she has the hots for Kirk, and he's trying to figure out how to solve the situation, because he gets sped up. They put some stuff in his coffee to where he gets sped up, moving at the same speed she is. And then the security guard was as well from the beginning of the story, but he gets injured. And when a human gets sped up that fast, all it takes is the slightest injury, and then they die because they age rapidly. Any kind of cell damage, which is what happens to the security guard. He gets hit, and it cuts him slightly, and he ages to death super fast. So Kirk's having to be careful, because if she scratches him, he'll die. What's really interesting to me, too, is how one little bit got past the censors. There's this scene where they're in Kirk's quarters, and the girl and Kirk are kissing. And it cuts away to something else happening. And when it cuts back, he's putting on his boots and she's brushing her hair. I'm surprised they got away with that in 1960s television, because the innuendo and the, what they're getting at is very obvious there. I'm just kind of surprised that they got away with that. In 1968 or 69 or 67, whenever this episode came out. I don't know why, but that amuses me. And then I really like how they use the camera angles. Whenever we're seeing a scene in the sped up time, the camera tilts slightly like this. It's slightly off kilter instead of being centered. You even see it happen a couple times when, like, Spock and Kirk get sped up. As they're speeding up, you see the camera like that. That's actually really neat. I like that little off kilter tilt to show that, they're not in normal time. I like how clever Kirk is recording a message and leaving it on a tape, and then Spock figuring out what's going on and being able to speed the tape up to actually get Kirk's message. I also like, I watched this with the updated effects, of course, which was very enjoyable. There's a scene there when they run into a force field and Kirk, Spot, and 2 of the security guards fire their phasers at the screen. Those effects have been updated, and they look really good. With the lasers, looks really, really good. I really thought that was neat. And then, of course, the few times you see the Enterprise, there's not a lot of Enterprise shots in this, but when you do see it, it looks good. I like the updated effects well enough. I like this one because it's one of those episodes of the original series where intruders are taking over the ship, which, again, let's be honest, happens a lot in the original Star Trek series. The Enterprise is way too easy to take over. Let's just be honest about that. The original series is my favorite Star Trek series, but hey, some of that's nostalgia. I'm telling you right now, some of that's nostalgia, because it's way too easy to take over this ship. Way too easy. But at least in this episode, it makes sense why they're able to do what they're doing. Like installing that machine that's supposed to put everybody in cryo. It makes sense because they move so much faster than everybody else, and nobody can keep up with them. And that the main reason they're doing this, they're not doing this because they're nefarious people. They're doing this because this is the only way they can procreate. And, you know, they're people to survive. So it's like they're not bad. The antagonists aren't villains, really. They're not bad guys. They're just having to do what they have to do because that's what they think they have to do. Of course, McCoy being McCoy works up an antidote to get Kirk and Spot back to normal time. Kirk manages to trick the girl and take her weapon, which seems a little easy the way that's filmed when he just grabs her hand and grabs the thing away from her. That's a little... She could have reached up and clawed him if she'd wanted, but it works. I enjoyed the performances in this. The girl playing the main antagonist is really good. She got a really nice smile. She has really nice teeth. I know that's an odd compliment. She has really nice teeth and a good smile. And I liked her in this. I bought the fact that she really cared a lot about, about Kirk. So yeah, it's a fun episode. This is one I enjoy. I don't watch it very often, but it's one of those, that's one of the reasons I enjoy it, is just watching it every now and then gives me more enjoyment out of it. But it's fun to see it resolve. It's nice again to have an episode where someone's taking over the ship and it actually makes sense why and how they're able to gain at least partial control of the ship like that. I enjoy that. And it's a great chance for William Shatner to show off some of his good acting, because sometimes he does have that stereotypical Shatner acting, but in this one I actually think he does really, really good. So yeah, my thoughts on Wink of an Eye, a fun little Star Trek episode from the original series. I enjoy the story. The performances and execution are good too, but I really like the actual story and them moving at a faster speed and everyone else so fast no one can see them. I enjoy that a lot. So I want to know what you think of Wink of an Eye. Comment down below and let's talk about it. I have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description below. I also have a link to my Amazon wishlist down there and a link to my Amazon UK wishlist down there as well, as I do review a lot of Doctor Who stuff as well. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney and Stephen Crane. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. And I would appreciate it just if you click the like button and the subscribe button. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and we're always trying to fight the YouTube algorithm, aren't we? Or get it to work for us, I should say. And most importantly, thank you for watching.